Okay, so yes, hello, welcome everybody, and thank you for being here. And thanks for ITAM for doing this. This is a very timely conversation in terms of the policy decisions ahead concerning not only energy, but also the environment and the link between them, climate change. So again, thank you for this wonderful event.
So with that, I would really like to thank, on behalf of the Secretary of Energy, Mr. Pedro Joaquin Caldwell, to thank Fatih Birol, to welcome to Mexico, and for the privilege of hosting here in my alma mater this inaugural conference. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Leonardo.
And the good news is, momentum is building. Now, we had two historical announcements from US and China. China is going to build a cap and trade system. What is this cap and trade system? It means every country, every state in China, every business in China, they have a limit of emitting carbon dioxide emissions. If they do more than that, they have to pay. If they emit less than that, they will get money. So providing some market incentives in China, as it is the case in Europe now. Second, China, until recently, was asking, I am a developing country, if you want me to go to renewable energies or clean energies, I want financing support from you. And now China is saying that I am going to give you support, developing countries, if you go for low carbon investments. This is extremely important. 2/3 of the emissions causing climate change come from the energy sector. 2/3. And all other sectors, their role or their sin, whatever you call it, is about 1/3. If we put all of them together, 1/3, energy sector alone 2/3. So therefore, without solving the problem in the energy sector, we have no chance whatsoever solving the climate problem. And therefore, as IEA, we believe it is our responsibility to guide the global energy sector, energy industry, in the right direction, in the direction of sustainable energy development. And it is the very reason we are making suggestions, analysis, and provide guidance to the markets. Since I talk about the good news, let me give one rather fresh good news to you. In the last 40 years that we have the data, global carbon dioxide emissions, this is the most powerful greenhouse gas, global emissions increased every year except we had a recession. Every single year it increased. Only last year, 2014, we have seen for the first time in the last 4 decades that the emissions did not increase, they stayed the same, although global economy increased more than 3%. So economy increased, grew, but the emissions stayed the same for the first time. In the past, emissions did not increase twice, but both of the times we had a financial crisis, economic downturn. Why? What happened? 2 things, 2 important things. One, for the first time in China, we have seen coal consumption declined. It never happened before. It increased every year in serious terms. Second, we have seen renewable energies, especially in the electricity generation, hydropower, wind, and solar, taking a greater share in the new built power plants throughout the world. So therefore, this was a very good and encouraging news on top of the political momentum coming from, as I told you, US, China, Europe, and other countries. When you look at the future, in the next 20 to 25 years, this time, the responsibilities coming from the emerging countries are growing substantially. For example, China, even on a per capita basis, going to take over Europe very soon. So therefore, the difficulty is to identify whose fault is it, whose mistake is it, in order to find out who should do what in the future. And therefore, there are many, many proposals here that we are, like the others, working on to come up with some pragmatic solutions. But one thing is clear. Everybody has to move. An agreement which wouldn't have the signature of everybody or almost everybody will definitely fail in that context. My point here is that we all need to applaud Mexico as being the first country, first emerging country to make a pledge. Today, many other countries did follow Mexico, but it is very important that Mexico was the first emerging countries which set an excellent example for many emerging countries. About 1/4 of the total energy in 2030 will come from clean energy sector, and the energy efficiency will improve 3 times faster than it did in the last few years. It gives a big boost to energy efficiency, and energy efficiency is the biggest winner from all these climate change discussions. Renewables. On the electricity sector, 60% of all new power plants built in the next 15 years will be renewable energy. This is amazing. And you may well think that this will happen in the Europe, US. Wrong. The biggest center of the growth of renewable energy is China. And I can tell you, last year, 2014, renewable energy investments in China was bigger than United States plus all 29 European countries put together. Now, a few words on Mexico. I mentioned to you that Mexico was the leader in terms of the emerging countries, and according to our analysis, Mexico's pledge means in 15 years of time, the emissions of Mexico will remain more or less what it is today, mainly as a result of the efficiency and low carbon push coming from Mexico, which means about 25% lower than business as usual. We see that the share of renewables will grow substantially. Today, about 13-14%, and it will be about 1/3, about 33-34% in the year 2030. And it is mainly, the driver will be, in our analysis, it will be mainly wind. The share of oil will decline 10 percentage points, despite the increase of the car ownership. Why? Because of the recently set fuel efficiency standards. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me finish my presentation, and then we will be very happy to have a discussion by telling you that, one, Paris is an extremely critical meeting. Do not underestimate the importance of the meeting for yourself, for your family, for your country, for your business, for your future, for your career, for anything. Second, energy is at the heart of it. If we don't get the right signals for the energy sector, we will continue to make the investments which will lock in our future in the primitive technologies, and we will have to live with them for many, many years to come. And as IEA, we are working very hard on this issue. We have a November 17-18, only 2 weeks before the COP meeting, we have our ministerial meeting. All the energy ministers in the world are coming. It is going to be chaired by the US Secretary of Energy, and I am very happy that this morning the Minister Caldwell agreed to come to our ministerial meeting and agreed to give one of the keynote speeches in our meeting. And in this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, something is happening for the first time. I am since 20 years with the IEA, 20 years, almost half of a lifetime. I have seen many ministerial meetings. Every 2 years we do it. For the first time, climate change is the opening topic of our ministerial agenda. We will start with climate change and then go to other subjects. It is another indication how we believe that the energy is at the heart of the debate, how we believe that the energy sector, international organizations like the IEA, the academic community, businesses, and the governments need to work hand in hand in order to avoid a catastrophic outcome for our planet. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.